Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you Bunny Viewer, a nice new tool which can help you visualize and understand more about ranges. To illustrate that, let's take a look at this hand. We check call the flop, call an overbet on the turn, and then we face an overbet jam on the river which we feel very uncomfortable about. We are not sure what to do. Our hand seems to be an interesting bluff catcher candidate, blocking some straights, two pairs and sets combinations that our opponent could have. However, we do have a bad feeling about it and decide to make the fold. Let's use PIO Solver to see his advice first. We see that our hand was a mixed, calling sometimes and folding sometimes. Now let's copy-paste our river range into Bunny Viewer. We see that we are supposed to defend 36% of our range. Now let's see our range structure and what we are supposed to do with each hand category. We have a call with two pairs and better, of course. We do fold over pair combinations, which is only pocket aces here. We can always click on a bar to see which hands are included in that category. So if your aces are folded, but still we do need to call with plenty of bluff catchers like top pairs and even third pairs. Third pairs combinations only have a small frequency in our range, so we can click on full square to see better. We see that our 8-7 is a mix indeed, but 7-6 was an even better hand to bluff catch with. This functionality to see strategies by hand class is pretty useful to define all kind of strategies like c-betting, check-raising, overbetting, and so on. Now let's say we are a nitty player and we decide to call the river shove only with two pairs and better. We can click on Show Range Structure. Here we can say that over pairs and top pair good kicker are considered to be weak value hands at this point. Now we see that two pairs and better represent only 53% of our calling range against the shove. We can click Define a new strategy and see what happens if we do call only with these strong hands. We call straight, sets, two pairs, and we do fold the rest. Now we see the result. We end up folding 81% on the river instead of 64%, making our opponent's bluffs printing money. Pretty interesting to see that. Bunny Viewer can also compare two ranges constructions. For example, this spot, small blind versus big blind. On this board texture, we had a full range check, as we can see on PO. If we check another board like King 10-5 Rainbow, we see that it is completely different. We have a full range bet. We can ask Bunny Viewer to show us the ranges construction for the two players on these boards. First, King 10-5. We see that we have a strong hands advantage of 12% against 6% for our opponent. But most importantly, his range is 50% of total air. That's a huge amount compared to our range. Therefore, we do have a very nice range advantage, and we do c-bet full range. Now, let's see the board in our hand, 7-5-4. The situation is very different. Our strong hand advantage is not significant anymore, and we do have more air hands than our opponents now. We can say that this board is a really bad board for us compared to the other one, and we have to check full range on the flop. That's it for today, guys. I think that Bunny Viewer is interesting and can be pretty helpful. See you later. Take care.